What up, Facebook Live, YouTube, all my followers? Feel like I'm actually doing something now. JawsAtalk, I got a special guest today, DMISE. I believe I've met you one time back in the day when I was still just a young kid trying to get in this writing game. So,
Okay.
holding down Humboldt right now. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
My name's Christopher DMISE, but I go by DMISE usually. I write with Law's Crew, Life After Wild Style, and been living in Humboldt now for about 7 years, close to 7 years, 6-7 years. Yeah, but originally from San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Home of the Spurs.
For sure. I was always wondering what the Law's Crew was. That's the first time I ever heard the acronym broke down. So that's tight, dude. Life After Wild Style.
Yeah, definitely. And we also got, some funnier acronyms too, like
Sure.
Laughing at Wax Suckers,
Tight.
Lighting a Wicked Spliff, just different things like that.
Yeah. The joy of rockin' crews, dude. So did you start that with your homies? Did you get put on? Like, where'd that come from?
I got put on in 2004, and originally started in the late 80s, early 90s in Chicago, and my boy CN63 brought it down to San Antonio when he relocated there in 98 and started the chapter in 98 with Suffer, Duo, Supa, like a lot of cats that I looked up to back then. And then just started hanging out with those guys, painting more with them, alongside them, and then eventually I got in the crew, 2004.
Tight, dude. Hell yeah. Good shit. All right. What were some of your inspirations coming up? Or first of all, how long have you been writing or doing art?
Well, I've been doing art since I was about 4 years old, drawing and stuff. But I didn't get into painting with the spray can until I want to say 98, 99. But I didn't do my first wall until 2001. So I practiced on cardboard and different things before I finally, took it to a wall and felt I was ready enough, capable enough to do a wall, do a piece on a wall. So it's been about, 16 years.
Tight. What about painting?
I got into painting with brush and acrylics, I want to say 2003. Okay. So a couple of years after I got down with the can. I feel like they work together.
For sure. What inspired that? Did you just did some of your homies just move on to, I mean, that's kind of what inspired me. Some of my homies moved on to canvas. Did you just see what inspired you to make that transfer over?
I hung out with a lot of people that are in Law's Crew now, but my buddy Soup, he had this art warehouse, or it was kind of like it was like a warehouse that he had rented out and got people to rent studio space or a jam space for bands to practice, and he was always painting with the brush, and then a lot of other cats that were in there were always painting with brushes, and it just kind of helped me broaden my spectrum, expand on just just instead of just using the can, right? Because at that time I was pretty fresh with new to the can too. Right. I wasn't I wasn't painting a lot, but I was always drawing. And I was always, trying to I guess, get better and better.
Right. To hone your craft a little bit more and.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, dude. So yeah, what were some of your inspirations?
As far as graffiti art,
Yeah, or I mean art in general, you know. I mean either or. I mean whatever I guess got you I guess started, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah.
well, I was really blessed to be, in San Antonio,
Mhm.
Texas, around the time that I was getting into it, because the graffiti art scene, the street art scene, was really emerging at that time.
Mhm.
People were getting permission to paint over walls that were just covered with gang graffiti, and
Right.
it was like a really the late '90s or the '90s was just like that gang era,
Mhm.
so like
Mhm.
um, it was covered in gang graffiti. So if you could go to walls on the bad parts of town, you would usually get permission to paint over that stuff, because
Tight.
shop owners and business owners wanted murals
Mhm.
instead of vandalism or graffiti or whatever. I mean, it was all
Okay.
related, but we were trying to do something more artistic. So
Sure.
when I'd see people in my city just rocking hard, I was
Mhm.
that's what really inspired me. I mean,
Sure.
I would see stuff coming in from all over the place when I'd be in the train yard just checking out stuff, benching and whatnot. But for the most part, it was my own city that really inspired me, because there's so many great artists like Wall Rock Crew, RTD, Laws Crew, CIK. A lot of those guys were doing really dope stuff um, back then. They're still doing really dope stuff then or now, but back then it was just one of those things where I could just drive around different parts of my city and just be excited,
Mhm.
and pull out my disposable camera and take pictures, and
Mhm.
couldn't wait to go develop them. And I mean, it was just one of those things where I was really fortunate to come up in the city where I'm from.
Sure. Sure. Were there like specific like writers that definitely caught your attention back then?
Yeah, my good friend Supa
Mhm.
was doing really dope stuff with his letters, and he would always do really dope characters, and I was blown away by that.
Mhm.
And then the people that painted with him, my best friend Inks, he was doing these 3D graffiti letter styles, and
Tight.
I mean just people, from Law's crew back when it had first started, in San Antonio too, like Suffer, and I mean there's a lot of people that I'm probably not remembering right off the bat, but um, just them, and then also like the people that were in magazines too that I was always checking out, or like Art Crimes was a good
Mhm.
source of inspiration. Um, like the 3A crew, like Gesser and Kemmer,
Mhm.
um, Totem, just
Yeah.
people that were doing things that were like pushing the envelope. And then the West Coast cats like Crayola, I was always just like,
Yeah.
what the, Crayola always blows me away. Even to this day, I'm
Yeah.
just blown away. And then of course like the Kings like Revoke and
Mhm.
Saber. I mean, I was always into that kind of style and
Mhm.
that kind of letter funk and flow.
For sure. That's tight,
and
dude.
and wild colors too. I love colors.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Those guys
yeah.
are always doing wild colors.
Yeah, you definitely got a unique lane with that. What's like have you painted with any like big names that you've been like super hyped on that have, you know, I mean other than like your crew or whatever, have you linked up with any other bigger names or anything?
Um, when I had done a graffiti show in L.A. that my good friend Kodak put
Mhm.
together, and I've always loved his stuff, and that was one of those things where I had seen him online and
Mhm.
just was blown away by him and Scar's work, and the people that were rocking the TM crew, Thoughts Manifested, out in Tennessee.
Mhm.
And I had gone out there to link up with him in 2005, and really was just was blown away by his style and the work that he would produce.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed really good friends. And I think it was 2009. He invited me to LA, where he relocated and had an art show out there. And at that time, it was really dope. I got to paint I got to paint next to Coffee, which I admire his work too. His stuff is just like really crazy and detail oriented and technical. And then also like the LTS cats, like Sinner and Avon, Arby, like a lot of those guys that I was just blown away by what they were creating with the can.
Right.
Like it was like a different kind of style, and it was very unique. And they did their thing. Like they expressed themselves the way they wanted to, and weren't trying to follow a certain formula or like rules on how to paint graffiti. And so I've always admired people that do stuff like that, and it helped me I kind of be more comfortable with the stuff that I was doing. It was like, man, I don't got to be like everybody else. Like I can do what I want to do and what feels natural to me.
Right. Tight, dude. Tight. What's the best like advice someone has given you? I mean, either coming up or rocking with those fools.
Man, I feel like I've gotten so much advice from so many people, so I can't tell who was the one that told me it specifically. But I remember being told so many different times where I was like, well, how can I be better? How can I get better? It's like, just don't think about it, just do it. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get. It's just like you have to build muscle memory and within your trigger finger, and you're just constantly painting with the can, you're going to develop a really good can control. Just like the same with painting with a paintbrush. It's going to be kind of uncomfortable at first because you don't know how to hold the brush or do it right for you, which way works for you, because there's no right or wrong way really to do any kind of art. I feel like if you're an artist, just express yourself, and it may not be like something that people will get, but if you get it, that's all that really matters.
For sure.
And so I had a lot of my peers just telling me stuff like that, like, yo man, like just do you, just
for sure.
Just do what makes you feel good, and release it how you want to release it, and then also too, like just color combos, just doing the kind of colors, or putting the colors that I want to put together, and just making it work how I want it to work, and it usually just friends like the graffiti friends, they're always usually telling me, or they were telling me back in the days, like just focus on strengthening yourself by being repetitive, by constantly doing it and constantly practicing, constantly keep it going. So that was the main thing.
Did you ever take
repetition?
For sure. Did you ever take classes or anything?
I never took classes. I mean, I took art in high school.
Right.
And man, I failed at that because I wouldn't be able to have the assignments done on time, because I would just tweak out on everything, just get super detailed and just go real crazy on one part of the project. And I was like, no, you didn't finish everything. So I mean, the teachers would eventually, just kind of be like, well, you got skills, but you just need to like speed it up, and that's the thing with me. It's like all my pieces, everything I paint, I feel like I'm the slowest one. Like it takes me forever because I'm just constantly, just taking my time at things.
Right.
And that's another thing I would like to say to people is just take your time.
For sure. Yeah, I also failed art class, which is hilarious because that's the only thing I do now. Let's see. Where did you get your name from? What inspired you to start writing DMISE?
Um, I was really big into metal back in the day.
Okay.
Super huge in the metal and like hardcore. So
Mm-hmm.
I just, man, I would hear that in songs and just think that the sound just sounded so good, just demise, like
Mm-hmm.
oh man, and then it like represented death, and I was just really into the darker arts at that time.
Sure.
And now it's like, now I feel like it's like it symbolizes life to me, even though the word means death. I just feel like it's what comes after death is like the rebirth,
Sure.
and trying to do something different with the name, and not going so much in the dark realm. I love all the dark stuff, but when it comes to me producing art,
Right.
it comes out like real colorful and vibrant and happy, kind of. I don't know how else to explain it, because it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like the how it can show both sides, or the contrast, I guess, is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Let's see. Where do you envision your craft going, or what would you like to eventually do with it, or bring it to?
Well, I would like to paint more murals. I would like for my art to catapult into an atmosphere, a place where I can, make a living off of it, be able to have books and prints and more merchandise available for people. I would want my art to be in everybody's home.
For sure. Sure.
And just to see more of it on more public spaces. But to have like some sort of energy exchange involved. Like if I'm painting a wall, to get compensated for my time and paint, energy.
Right.
So I really just, I want to do more of that, but there's no I don't want to just like use all my materials that I work hard for on something that is just essentially for free for somebody, and then I'm like, oh well, I need more of this paint, like it's like, I don't mean to sound like a starving artist, but that's kind of like the mentality that I've always had. I'm always just like, even if I'm not starving, I'm like, no, like this is my paint, it's valuable.
Yeah.
Like I worked hard for it.
Yeah.
So.
No, I absolutely understand that, man. It's a crazy world we live in, bro. I mean, some people are doing it, man. Like, I mean, that dude Doze, or however you say his name, does. It's like some of those dudes are actually like at that level. So, I mean, I definitely see you being there, sooner than later. That's for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's see. So mediums you used. I mean, you kind of explained that already, but just let's see. Like, do you use oils at all? I mean, I'm an oil kid. I think it's kind of like oils or acrylics with a lot of these other artists that I talk to.
Nice. Well, I have oils and I've experimented with them, but I haven't used them enough to really grasp them.
Sure.
But I feel I have fun when I use oils. I'm like, damn, I should have been using oils this whole time.
Right.
But then, when it comes to most of the art I do on canvas, I usually start off with the spray paint layer, and then I do acrylics on top. So I haven't experimented with doing oils on top of the spray paint. I don't know if it would work that well.
It does. I do a lot of my stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
nice.
It's definitely something to try out.
All right, I'm gonna definitely do that.
For sure. Cool.
But yeah, I'm really comfortable with acrylics, and and spray paint, and then I mean other kind of experimental things I like to work with is like gold leaf.
Oh yeah,
I love using gold leaf.
yeah.
Just added pizzazz.
Yeah, dude. I've shelled a couple of my pieces in gold leaf, and literally, it probably took longer than it took took me longer to shell it in gold leaf than it did to like do the entire piece. But it's cool, it's a lot of fun. I'd like to do more. Shout out to Caddy for introducing me to that stuff.
Hell yeah.
Tight. So dope. Mediums. Let's see. Greatest memory you've experienced while doing this.
There's too many.
For sure. What's one that like sticks out that keeps you motivated?
I mean, anytime that I've gone out and painted with friends, we did. Anytime that like-minded artists get together and create something, like do a whole production together. That always like makes me feel good. I always leave the wall just feeling really great that I got to like bond with my people and paint a wall and do a collaborative effort together. So like times like that, any times that we gone out and done late night missions and feel really happy that we got a boxcar in,
right?
those kinds of things. But I mean, there's been also crazy things too that have happened where I look back and I laugh like, what, did that really happen while I was painting?
Right.
Like, I mean, just funny things. I guess one that I can think of just recently off the top of my head, just because there's so many different stories, but one of them that made me laugh and was just like, wow, I can't believe that happened, was painting over at the Devil's Playground, R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace for sure.
But while I was back there painting, this photographer was walking around with this model, and he was just taking pictures of this model, or actually he was filming this model, like just walking back and forth, and he asked, "Hey, can you interact with my model?" He was asking us while you guys are painting, and we were kind of like, yeah, whatever. But then it just started getting kind of sleazy, where he was like, all right, now take off your clothes, and telling, not telling us, but telling the model that, and she's like saying stuff like, oh, you graffiti guys get me so horny, and like start stripping in front of us, and I was like, whoa, for real? And I mean,
bro.
Nothing's going on back there because, I mean, it's out of the public's eye, so it was like the girl pretty much got completely naked in front of us.
That's so fucking strange, man.
And me and my buddy are just looking at each other. Like, I was painting with Detour.
Okay.
And we're just looking at each other like, for real? Like, this is happening right now? And trying to keep our composure because we're getting filmed at the same time.
Right.
And I'm like, who's going to see this? Like, wait, where's this going? And who's going to see this? And it was such a trip, too. Yeah. And we had been smoking hella J's, too, so I was wondering if that was really even happening.
Right.
It was just so bizarre. Just
damn,
like one of those kind of crazy things.
That's very fucking interesting. I could see it happening back there, no doubt. I mean, that's definitely something that, that's very strange.
Yeah, it was quite entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. So the next question is, what's like the worst memory you've experienced in it? Like whether it's been bombing or whatever.
Oh man. Me and my buddy News, who's actually like one of my favorite painting partners. He lives in McAllen, Texas, South Texas. And we were painting in Harlingen, Texas, where I lived for, a few years. And I got permission to paint this alley wall that was bare it was like a virgin wall. It never
Mm-hmm.
got painted before, so
Okay.
we were really excited to get down on this wall. And we were barely doing the sketch on this wall.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been like, I don't know, 1 PM or something.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe 30 minutes in, this cop car just approaches, and I automatically just look at the cop and just keep on painting the wall,
Right.
because I'm like, I got permission for
Right,
this.
right.
But the cop comes out, guns drawn, like pointing at us, and he's like, "Put the can down, put the can down," like if it's a weapon. And I'm like,
Right.
what? Like, yo. And then there was 6 cop cars just come up, piling up behind this other cop, and they all come out with guns drawn, and there's guns like all in our faces, and we're both like, you know, I had like, I don't know, I totally we did not look like, you know, some like vandal or some gang members or hood kids.
Right,
like
right.
We were just, you know, just doing our thing, and you know, frisked us and all this stuff, and we're like yelling in our faces, cussing at us, and all kinds of, you know, crazy shit. That it was really uncomfortable. But we knew that we weren't going to get in any trouble. But just the fact that these guys were, you know, pointing their guns at us, and it was like, yo, like one wrong move and these guys could just empty clip on us.
Right.
But then, you know, the business owner came over, because I told him, I was like, yo, man, I just called the business owner.
Uh-huh.
You could reach in my pocket, grab my cell phone, and dial the last number called, and that's him. He'll come over here. He's just a couple blocks away. And they did that, and he came over jokingly, being like, "Oh, unfortunately, these guys have permission, so." He's like, but you could still give him a full body cavity search.
That's fucked
up.
That's fucked. That's cool though. That's cool. At least nothing like crazy fucking. But yeah, that's wild, dude. That's wild.
Yeah.
What the culture can fucking bring to our reality, man. That's wild.
Yeah, definitely, and that's happened twice too. Like,
really,
the other time I was painting in Dallas, Texas, inside a church, but it was like a church that was getting remodeled, and the youth minister was a friend of mine, and he wanted to have his walls painted up, and, you know, just speak to the younger generation. And we were doing this. I was painting. It was probably like close to midnight, and we're leaving this newly remodeled church, and it looks like a construction site because you know there's all the equipment outside and stuff. But as we're walking out of the back doors, we just have all these flashlights and gun barrels like pointing at us as soon as we walk out of the church, and they're like, "Get that on the ground, motherfucker! Put your hands up!" I was like, whoa. And yeah, that was a whole fiasco too, where we had to get like the pastor of that church to come down and
so wild, man.
Talk to the cops, and I mean, it was just kind of stressful, you know.
Right.
We were like, "Yo, man, like it's not even like that."
Right.
But they thought we were some hoodlums that broke in, and
for sure,
and you know, because we had like loud rap music playing, and you know, they hear cans rattling. They're like, "What in the hell is going on in there?"
Right.
This doesn't seem like a church.
Right.
Thing,
That's some ballsy bombers to go do that, man.
I know, right?
Damn, bro. Well, I'm glad I haven't had a fucking gun pulled on me during fucking painting. That would be like the most fucked up shit. Like, really.
I mean, it really is. It's like, I know the cops have to be on guard, but damn, dude, we just have spray cans in our hands, like. Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, and a knife in our pocket at best. But,
right. All right, cool. That's tight, dude. I like those stories, man. That's definitely something I'm stoked on for everybody I talk to.
Nice.
All right, what are some projects you're working on, or the next things you got scheduled?
I'm trying to get a mural going in Old Town Eureka. I've talked with Kevin from Black Fawn Art Gallery, who brought down Dan Kitchener, and I forgot the other guy's name that painted that pink splattery wall in Old Town.
I don't know.
But yeah, we're in the works trying to get a mural going on behind. It's in the same alleyway, same Opera Alley.
Okay.
So that's in the works of. I just need to come up with another sketch, because I had a sketch that got approved by the city and with Kevin, but the building owner was like, well, I had drawn some birds and some graffiti stuff, but he was like, I want some local native birds. So I was like, oh, geez, all right.
all right. It's so funny. You got to deal with people like that.
Yeah, it is. It is funny. So I'm just, that's in the works. And then I have a small book that I've been doing of erotic sketches and erotic drawings that I want to reproduce and try to get that book out there. You know, it's like a graffiti, like Kama Sutra, if you will.
Oh, I gotta. I'll probably after this like send you a picture of like one of your drawings on your erotic DMISE page. Like I was telling my friend about it, and he is like scrolling through it, and he like comes across one of the girls, and he was like, "Yo, that kind of looks like one of my ex-girlfriends." And I'm not even playing, bro. And he sends me a picture, and like, I was jaw dropped, bro. So I'm gonna have to send you that picture because it's really funny. Like the way you did her hair. Anyway, I'm gonna send you that. I wanted to get to that, so that's cool.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, it's classic. It's classic. All right, so cool. You got some murals going on. You have like art shows coming up or anything like that?
No art shows yet, but I've been constantly creating and constantly producing a body of work that is ready to be shown. So
Cool.
you know, if an art show opportunity comes up, I'm ready.
Okay. I think I want to connect you with Rob. I don't know if you know Rob or not. Moores. He used to write Moores. He's
not familiar.
For sure. Amazing artist, one of my best friends. But he's always got connections to like shows and murals and stuff too. So I think it'd just be like a good person to add to your network, really.
Hell yeah.
So I'll get you guys linked up.
Hell yeah.
All right.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it definitely, yeah, like you said, doing murals and stuff. I think he's like I said, he's got the end, and I know that he'd be able to like help out, you know, with more opportunities like that, you know.
I like it.
Cool. All right. So what you already kind of mentioned something on this, but words of wisdom for the next generation.
And I would just have to say, try to stay positive. You know, there's a lot of negativity in this world, and it's best to not focus on that and just to focus on what's real, what makes you happy, what makes you get out of bed, and whatever you're creating, whether you're doing art or making music or making videos, just do it with heart. Make sure you have all your heart in it. Make sure that it's genuinely you, and that you're not trying to impress somebody or trying to do it for the likes. Like, just, you have to like it, you know, and
sure.
If you feel good about it, and if you like it, guarantee other people are going to appreciate it and like it too. And there's no right or wrong way to do art or to express yourself. I mean, as long as you're not hurting anybody. But just stay true to yourself and to your heart. Make sure your heart's always in your art. You're always passionate about what you create and what you put out there in the world.
Tight. That's awesome, man. It's definitely a good thing to hear, for sure. And And other than being an artist, what are other things you're into? Like,
Oh man. Um. Well, I really enjoy. I was in a band for a long time in South Texas.
Tight.
I was into the hardcore scene, and I
Mhm.
had a couple of hardcore bands that I was the vocalist for. So I do like doing vocals, but I haven't done those kind of vocals in probably like 10 years or something like that. And lately, it's just been strumming the acoustic guitar and singing.
Cool.
You know, just singing, and then also, you know, like to mess around with rap too, but I'm never like putting it out there because it's just kind of crazy and silly. But
For sure.
you know, I definitely like writing a lot.
Tight. Good.
And just having fun with that, and then also, you know, I've been just kind of dabbling a little bit on creating comedic videos. I want to laugh more, and I want
For sure.
like, I want to put myself out there where I'm not like afraid of showing my face or showing my character who I am. And, and so I want to do more of that where I'm making my own like comedy skits and just silly videos that I'll post on Instagram or YouTube.
Yeah.
So I just want to laugh and have fun, and you know, if I brighten somebody's day while doing that, you know, then that's an added bonus.
For sure.
You know, I just want to always like continue to laugh and smile in this world while I'm here.
Yeah. No, that's dope, man. As I mean, people are gonna like see your art and be drawn in, so it's gonna be, it's a cool thing to have, like, you know, also be like showing, you know, a positive, like, uplifting personality is like, that's tight, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you'd like to, anything else you would like to like mention or raise awareness about or rant about? I put this question in there because my friend Jimmy Hopkins really likes to rant about politics and stuff. So you don't have to mention anything about politics if you don't want. But if there's anything you want to like raise awareness on, yeah, let me know.
You know, I feel like lately it's been like a topic where race has been a topic, and I just want to, you know, just take the time to say that, you know, none of that stuff really matters. We're like, really what should matter is everybody just unite, knowing that we're all Earthlings.
For sure. I like that. I rock with that. Yeah.
we're all inhabiting this earth, and but at the same time, everyone should respect each other's, you know, ethnic background and culture. You know, because we all are equal, but we're all different at the same time. You know, we got like just the way we dress is different. The music we listen to is different. Everybody like is different, but at the same time we're still like Earthlings on this earth. You
Definitely
know,
the same creature, man. Absolutely.
Exactly. So if everybody could just like respect each other and then also just love that we're all, you know, the human race.
Right.
Rather than focus so much on like, you know, just hating.
Right.
Like,
right.
It's
like,
that's too easy.
Right. Like downgrading competition or some nonsense.
Exactly. Or like, you know, people thinking that, you know, someone's lesser than you.
Right.
You know, it's just or like someone, you know, feeling like they're qualified and you're not. It's just like, no, it's whatever. Like that stuff is just kind of silly and pointless to me. So that's the only kind of rant I have.
No, that's cool. With that being said, like, you know, I battle rap, and like part of my, you know, mission when I go and do these is not only bring like a different perspective, but like networking is a really big thing to me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, I don't understand like any real tension, you know. And I like mentioning just like really positive, like thought provoking things. So I agree, man. We're all the same fucking creature, man. That's hella real.
Yeah,
Tight.
it's true. It's true.
All right. And my last question is, how can people reach you or follow your movement?
I'm most active on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a long time I was just, I don't know, social media was like just making me unhappy, so I just stayed away from it and hadn't posted. But lately I've been feeling a little more comfortable
Mm-hmm.
sharing myself and putting my stuff out there. So Instagram is where is my most frequent outlet,
Mm-hmm.
and people can follow me on Instagram at Christopher DMISE, or if they're into the erotic arts or the more X-rated stuff that I do,
Yeah.
then follow at erotic demise.
Yeah. And it's amazing. It's crazy. It's almost like two different. You know, I mean, like we have your demise pieces are like super full color, and then like the erotic demise is like it's way more realistic, man. It's like it's crazy that you can kind of like snap into those two worlds, man. So
Yeah, it's been, you know, a work in progress,
mm-hmm.
and you know, I didn't develop it overnight, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the more I let that part of myself out,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the better I get at it.
Yeah.
And you know, I just want to like to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, for a long time I felt ashamed or afraid of doing that kind of art, and
Right.
feeling like I was going to get judged or people call me a pervert or something like that.
Right.
And then lately I just been like, no fucks given, I'm just
Right.
going to do it, you know.
Right.
And
How has the
and
response been?
man, I have more followers on that page than my demise page. It's crazy.
That's pretty crazy, man. I think it's like an untapped lane, you know, especially with someone at your like artistic ability, man. I think it's definitely crazy. It's tight.
It is pretty crazy, you know. I you know, I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes the response is overwhelming because
Mm-hmm.
I'll constantly get direct messages of, you know, people sending me nude pictures, and there's like, draw me, draw this, or draw my girlfriend, draw my boyfriend. And I'm like, Jesus,
That's
like,
crazy,
whoa.
dude. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm like, I'm not even asking for it. It's just coming in. But
Right.
you know, people are really into the style of
Mm-hmm.
how I capture people, and they're
Mm-hmm.
like, they want to be captured in that style, and I get
Mm-hmm.
it. You know, it's cool, it's flattering, but at the same time, I can't keep up, so I just have to like just do my own thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just not even respond half the time. It's
For
like, I can't do it right now.
Right, you're gonna be a superstar in a completely different field than you intended and shit.
Yeah, definitely,
Cool.
definitely. You know, I would be happy with being any kind of superstar, man. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest.
Tight. Well, good shit, man. Looks like Nate says he misses the band, bro.
Oh yeah, the ones you call good looking was the
Yeah.
band that he's referring to.
That's what it is. The one you call good looking. Tight, dude.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. Oh man, we had a really good following down there in South Texas, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fan base, you know, and was mostly like friends or of like bands that we would play with too. Like
Mm-hmm.
we'd play shows, and you know, sometimes the main audience was the other 5 bands, like all the members of the other
Right.
bands that were, you know, playing
Mm-hmm.
alongside us. And so, I mean, we had a nice community there, where we were just repping the same kind of stuff, same kind of music,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just having fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we would just sometimes like kick each other in the face, but it was all love.
For sure. For sure. Definitely.
So yeah, I missed that too, Nate.
For sure. For sure. Well, awesome, man. That's the interview. That's all the questions I got for you. I hella appreciate you coming and doing this interview. I'm honored, you know, to chat with you. when I come visit Humboldt, I'm gonna give you a holler and just kind of say what up, see what's cracking.
Hell yeah, where you at now?
I'm in Ashland, Oregon.
Oh, okay, nice.
So
I like
yeah,
Ashland.
so I'm a little bit, I'm a couple hours away, but you know, I still got all my friends down there, and Rob's down there now, and we're talking about, you know, me bringing some art down to one of his shows and all that. So, but yeah, man,
Nice.
we'll link. I'm gonna link you up with him, and I'm gonna send you that picture because
Hell yeah.
it's super funny, and
Nice. Yeah, I want to see that.
and that's what's up, man. I'll add your Instagram stuff to the YouTube post that I'll download or that I'll upload. So
Well, I appreciate that,
sweet,
man.
man.
I appreciate you having me on this talk show.
Yeah.
It's the first time that I've ever done, you know, a recorded interview,
Dope.
like an audio interview. So
For sure. I'm hyped, man. I mean, yeah, it's a cool little thing, you know, that I got inspired to do, and yeah, I mean, the people I've asked have, you know, pretty much given me a good response too. So, thank you for helping me grow this, man. That's means a lot, man. I appreciate it.
hey, well, thanks for having me. You know, be a part of it.
For sure.
I appreciate you reaching out.
Right on, man. All right, till next time.
For sure.
Thanks, brother. Have a good day.
You too, man.